Hello, good morning. We were talking about the population interactions. We were talking about parasitism, right? So parasitism means one is a parasite and the other one is the host, and here the parasite is going to benefit and host is going to be harmed. Now, what is exactly a parasite? Parasite is one living organism which is completely dependent on another living organism. A parasite is not the one which will depend on a dead living organism. That organism becomes a saprophyte. So a parasite is that organism which depends on another living organism. Okay. So in due course of time, these parasites have evolved a lot of adaptations that will enable them to be a good parasite for that matter, right? So what are the adaptations? Basically, their completely body structure becomes pretty simple, very simple. They don't require complex mechanisms. Their digestive system is pretty simple. Why digestive system is simple? Because they are actually absorbing the already digested food from the host. Now they don't require their own digestive system at all. They just absorb the food from the host. Then they may have certain hooks or they may have suckers. Why? To enable them to cling on to the various internal organs of the host, maybe the kidney, liver, lungs, stomach, intestine, from wherever they want to derive their own food. So they have developed hooks, they have developed some suckers, and they may have some intermediate or more than one hosts. More than one host. Now there is a parasite known as liver fluke. It depends on snail and fish. Half of its life it can spend on the snail and another on the fish. As we have already seen earlier, malarial parasite. What is the malarial parasite known as? The Plasmodium. The Plasmodium can live, needs, not can live, it needs. It needs human as well as mosquito to complete its life cycle. So some of them, they require more than one host to complete their life cycle. So these are the certain adaptations that the parasites have evolved over the period of time. Okay. Then we've seen there are certain different type of, there are certain ectoparasites and certain endoparasites. When we're talking about ectoparasites, there are like lice, we get in the hair, they're very irritating. Then ticks are mostly on animals. In the dogs, they keep on itching. They are the ectoparasites. The leech, if it sticks to your body, it's going to suck the blood out of you. It is very harmful for the cows, leeches. So these are the ectoparasites which stay on the surface of the body. They don't get inside. Whereas the certain different ones that we are mostly talking about, simple digestion, hook and sucker, these are basically found in the endoparasites like tapeworm. Small kids get a lot of worms in their stomach when they are young, and as much as they keep on eating, they keep on getting thinner and thinner, weak and weak. It is because of those worms are all taking the nutrition away from those kids' body. So these are the ecto and the endoparasites, different type of parasites. Okay, then we will come to another type of parasitism that is known as brood parasitism, which is a very interesting phenomena. Mainly if you watch a cuckoo bird, cuckoo, or it is also known as quail, right? So the cuckoo bird, what does it do? It lays, it's a very smart bird, okay, it's a very lazy bird, but we should not say that, because yes, it cannot do some things. It cannot make its nest and lay its eggs in its nest. So it has to depend on crow. So the quail or the cuckoo, this depends on crow. It lays its egg in the crow's nest. And during evolution, the nature has converted its eggs same as that of crow, and crow is not able to make out the difference between its own eggs and the eggs of cuckoo, and it keeps on rearing them. And even after hatching, even after the eggs hatch, crow is not able to make out the difference, keeps on feeding those young offsprings of the cuckoo. But when they start growing and then they start singing, then the crow comes to understand that no, they are not, but that time they are old enough to fly and be independent. So this type of parasitism, it is nothing that it is inside that organism's body or outside the organism's body, but no, this type is brood. Brood means that they're using the cuckoo to brood, to take care of the young ones of its own. So that is also known as brood parasitism. Now I'll tell you one interesting phenomenon when we're talking about mosquito and this Plasmodium. Though the female mosquitoes, you must have studied in last year, in 10th, that mosquito does feed on human blood, but it is only the female that does that. Males are vegetarians. Why does this female mosquito, even though it feeds on the human blood, is not considered to be a parasite? You know why? Because it requires high nutrition, and because of that it feeds on the human blood. It is to lay the eggs. It is not because it is just it's just using it for its nutritional fulfillment, but it feeds on the human blood only because it requires a higher nutrition for laying its birds. So it is usually not considered as a parasite. Okay, so we have finished this parasitism. We are moving on to the next type of population interaction.